Imagine for a moment a history that veered sharply off course. A dark, desolate path where the promise of the future was choked by the smoke of a devastating past. In this chilling alternate timeline, the unthinkable occurred. The Nazi Party, against all odds, emerged victorious from the Second World War. The world as we know it was reshaped into a monochromatic landscape of oppression, where the very concept of freedom became a dangerous whisper. Into this suffocating reality, even the cosmic forces of the universe were not immune to corruption. We turn our gaze now to a particularly grim chapter, one that twisted a vibrant symbol of hope and order into an instrument of despair. In this timeline, the notorious Heinrich Himmler, architect of so much suffering, sought to extend the Reich's dominion beyond the earthly plane, to harness forces far older and more terrible than conventional warfare. Himmler, driven by a perverse occult obsession, convened a macabre council. Through dark rituals, fueled by demonic magic and, chillingly, the desecrated souls of fervent Nazi priests, he forged an artifact of unimaginable malevolence. This was no ordinary weapon, but a ring of evil. It pulsed with a sickly, putrid green light, a grotesque parody of a symbol meant to bring order and light. His twisted vision was to create a new kind of Green Lantern, a lantern of evil, whose power would stem not from willpower and fearlessness, but from absolute submission and terror. The ring, once forged, hungered. It sought a wielder, a vessel strong enough to contain its infernal energy. And, in a cruel twist of fate, a familiar name from our own universe was drawn into its orbit: Guy Gardner. In this broken world, Guy was not the brash, often arrogant, but ultimately heroic figure we know. He was a prisoner, broken, his immense will twisted and perverted by prolonged torment and ideological re-education. The ring found fertile ground in his fractured psyche, preying on his despair and transforming his inherent strength into a conduit for its dark purpose. As the Nazi regime consolidated its hold, the Green Lantern of evil became its most terrifying enforcer. And with each act of conquest, with each fallen champion of light, the ring grew stronger. For, as this dark lantern clashed with the remnants of the true Green Lantern core, it absorbed their very essence. The souls of slain Green Lanterns, those brave heroes who had fought for freedom across the cosmos, were not allowed to pass on. Instead, they were ripped from their spiritual forms and pulled into the horrific ring of evil, each absorption corrupting its power further, deepening its malevolence, and turning its sickly green glow into a truly terrifying sight. Imagine the cries, the silent screams of these trapped souls, fueling the very evil they once fought against. But even in the deepest despair, a flicker of light can persist. And in this shadowed universe, that light belonged to John Stewart, a Green Lantern whose resolve was forged in the crucible of countless battles for justice. John represented everything the Nazi lantern sought to extinguish. He had witnessed the fall of comrades, the perversion of his core's ideals, and the rise of a terrifying new order. He had watched as the very color of hope became synonymous with oppression. His journey was one of quiet defiance, of holding on to the true oath in a world that had forgotten its meaning. His path inevitably led him to a corrupted Guy Gardner. Their battle was not merely a physical struggle, but a raw, agonizing duel of wills, a clash of ideologies manifest through cosmic energy. Gardner, driven by the ring's malevolent purpose and the trapped souls within, unleashed grotesque mockeries of justice, constructing abominations of pure terror. Stewart, however, channeled something purer. He drew upon the raw, untainted power of 1,000 acts of bravery, of every Green Lantern who had ever lived, and met each horror with an unwavering resolve. His constructs, though perhaps less overtly powerful, vibrated with the truth of his convictions. The air crackled with their conflicting energies, a sickly green versus a defiant, if dulled, emerald. John fought not just to defeat an enemy, but to free a brother, to reclaim a twisted symbol. In a final, desperate surge of will, John managed to overpower Gardner. As the monstrous constructs shattered and the foul energies of the Ring of Evil began to dissipate, a different kind of light began to bloom. With a profound sense of purpose, John reached out, not to destroy the ring, but to mend what was broken. He didn't just defeat Gardner, he began to pull at the very fabric of the ring's corruption. Channeling his own unyielding willpower, drawing on the memory of every fallen lantern and every soul crying out from within, he began the impossible. He absorbed the tormented souls into his own ring. It was an act of profound compassion and immense courage. The ring on his finger pulsed, no longer a vessel for despair, but a conduit for the myriad echoes of heroism it had once held. The sickly green faded, replaced by an incandescent, brilliant emerald. The energy, once so putrid, now thrummed with purity and power, a beacon in the pervasive darkness. It was the collective will of all the lanterns, now united and free, channeled through John Stewart. Hope, vibrant and undeniable, had triumphed over tyranny, reclaiming its color, its purpose, and its power. And so, this grim tale, born from the darkest what-ifs, culminates in a powerful testament to enduring hope. It reminds us that even when shadows loom largest, and even when symbols are twisted into their most grotesque forms, the true spirit of heroism, of unwavering will, can reclaim what was lost and shine brighter than ever before. It's a reminder that hope, much like a verdant flame, finds a way to burn, even in the coldest night. Thank you for joining me on this thought-provoking journey into a very different kind of reality. What are your reflections on this story of ultimate darkness and ultimate redemption? Do you believe hope can truly overcome anything? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this exploration compelling, consider subscribing for more tales from the unexpected corners of imagination.